We are down to 6 races remaining here in the 2025 season, and Blaine Keys dodged a huge bullet in last week's race at the Zenjoltis Mega Speedway. Still, however, he only has 46 points on Rogeldorn and 49 points on Ludovic Charette, and Stuart Gratton has joined the fray in this championship battle, only 53 points behind. 2 race wins and no points for Blaine Keys could lead to a very tight battle in this championship as we head closer and closer to Christmas Eve and the Homestead Miami Speedway. Today, we are here in Great Britain, the Rockingham Motor Speedway, the rectangular-shaped oval track that has produced many a great race over the years here on AG, the channel. And we're back once again for the final BodyArmor Pro Series race that we'll have at this racetrack here for the Grand Prix of Great Britain, here for race 20 of the 2025 BodyArmor Pro Series. Hello everybody, this is AG here, and welcome to the Rockingham Motor Speedway. We are here for the 20th race of the season, and this is going to be a very critical race in the championship once again. Blaine Keys, of course, got wrecked out at Zenjoltis last week, and because of that, he's going to get a starting position that is not favorable in terms of his championship position in trying to win this title race. And you got Ludovic Charette starting on the pole position, Rogeldorn starting in 6th. Even though neither of them received any championship points at Zenjoltis, they did have good fastest laps in that last segment, and they got a great opportunity at gaining here today, an opportunity they did not have last week at the Zenjoltis Speedway. But it's going to be a very fascinating race here because we have a lot of very strong drivers up front. Ludovic Charette and Stuart Gratton on the front row. Matt Tuck starts 31 last time out, and I'd watch out for Matt Tuck because if he goes on a heater here these last 6 races, he might have a shot at catching Blaine Keys as well. And a race win here today would really put him up there and give him a shot at this title. And of course, Rogeldorn has been very strong this season. They're second in the standings, 46 behind, starting in 6th. Of course, Carson Miller's won a couple times on the super speedways. Jack Haas, though, still going for his first win of the season. They're starting in 5th. A lot of interesting names up front, and this is going to be a very interesting race. 42 laps here at the Rockingham Motor Speedway. No pit stops, so they're going to be doing it on the same set of tires and fuel all the way through. And that's going to make things very difficult at the end of the race. You have to make sure you get yourself up front when you can, because once those tires wear out, it is going to be difficult to work your way through the field here. Last year, this race only saw 1 caution happen early on in the race. The rest of the event went caution-free, so very likely that could happen again here today. Setting lineup in the championship standings, of course, Blaine Keys, as you know, the points leader. He has been the points leader the entire season. He won the first race back in January at South Boston, and he has held the championship lead the entire season. And I don't know, and I could be wrong with this, I don't think anyone has ever led in the points the entire way through in a season with a regular points format. I don't believe it's ever been done. Blaine's got a very good chance at doing so, but the past few races, he's gotten absolutely nothing on these super speedways. But he's lucky to really still have that 46-point lead on Rogeldorn. That could have been a lot worse. Rogel could have won last week, and it would have been within a race win worth of points coming into this one. But both Rogel and Ludovic ended up falling out of line. Neither of them got any points, and now they are in position once again. But Blaine Keys still has 6 races left to hold on to that points lead, as you see. 49 points behind for Ludovic Charette, starting on the pole position. She got the fastest lap in that final segment, even though she did not get any points. And Stuart Gratton was runner-up at Zenjoltis, almost got the race victory, came close to getting it on Matt Tuck. He is 53 points behind. Andrew Miller, 76 behind. Matt Tuck, 79 points behind. I really would watch out for Matt Tuck here today, that number 54. Very strong at Zenjoltis. Got the pass on the outside lane to actually take the lead and eventually win the race. Of course, he starts there in the 3rd position, which is always a great place to start on a racetrack such as this. Go through the starting lineup there. Of course, we mentioned the top 6. You got Alonso and Matthew Hubert in row number 4. You got LJ Semedo and Vinny Scholes in row number 5. Leonard Kochmer, Isaac Nichols in row 6. Andrew Miller and Justin Seidel in row 7. Audrey Baranauskas, Nicholas Sambadio. Neither of them advanced on to the final segment last week at Zenjoltis. You got Lauren Martinez and Juan Romero. There is Blaine Keys starting all the way back in the 21st starting position alongside Ace Garcia, and then it's Thomas Troxel, Drew Webb. I should say Blaine Keys is starting in the 19th position because there's one more row back there that I didn't see. That was Nathan Stapleton and Logan Williams got caught up there in that accident, the teammates at Velocity Racing in this series. Next year, there will not be any teams. It'll all be driver invite only. Some of these guys have already been invited. They're already coming back. We'll see how it all shakes out next year. But we still have 6 races left to go this year, including this one here today. Go to the Atlanta Motor Speedway next week. Coca-Cola Super Speedway in 2.5 weeks. And we got ourselves Martinsville and the Bend leading up to the finale at the Homestead Miami Speedway on Christmas Eve. Let's go ahead and get these drivers to roll off here from the Rockingham Motor Speedway. And of course, we will see these drivers really duke it out, and especially watch out for them. The exit of turn number 1. That's where we saw the accident here last year. Has always been the trouble spot in the many races that we had, and the Cup Series used to be here back in the day. And it is a very unique and challenging race course, even though it is an oval racetrack officially. None of the corners are the same, and they're all very quick and wide sweeping corners as well. Very wide racetrack as well. There's some other mile-and-a-half racetracks that we go to over in the States, and they are much narrower than this one. So these guys have a lot of room to really just sweep it off the exit of the corner, and sometimes they sweep it a little too much and they get into each other. We could see ourselves our first caution in this series in quite some time. Regardless of the fact, we're looking forward to it here today. I say it's been a while since we've had a caution in the series, and we had a caution in the Talladega race at the end there, which was won by Carson Miller, the first Talladega race there. We'll see if we get one here today. Of course, no pit stops in this race, so this is going to play into the favor of Ludovic Charette and Rogel Dorn here today, considering Blaine Keys is starting all the way back in 19th, but we know how strong of a driver Blaine is. And we'll see if he can work his way from the back to the front in 42 laps time with no pit stops. It's going to be a fascinating one here in the United Kingdom for the Grand Prix of Great Britain here from the Rockingham Motor Speedway. Like I said, this is going to be the last time we come here in the BodyArmor Pro Series for the foreseeable future. This track not returning next year, so let's see who gets the last one here at the other rock across the pond. And a good start for Ludovic Charette. He was almost passed there by Matt Tuck, but did not give up and held that outside lane through turn number 2 and took the race lead away. And now you got Stuart Gratton, though, making a move on turn 2. And Stuart's going to be able to take it away from Ludovic Charette. Here comes Matt Tuck for second. Ludovic going to get stuck on that outside lane right there, and she does not have the drive off that she had on that first lap. And Stuart Gratton out front, only 53 points behind Blaine Keys coming into this race. How about Alonso? Here's Alonso to the inside of Jack Haas right there. That's for the 5th position. Carson Miller is up into the 3rd position. Great run for Carson Miller. He has struggled this season on a lot of these racetracks, even though he has the 2 wins on the super speedways. They were super speedway races where the ratings really don't matter as much as they do in a place like this. Matt Tuck, though, looking to the inside. Of course, he wants to keep Stuart Gratton behind him because Gratton's ahead of him in the championship standing, so Gratton's one of those guys that Matt Tuck would need to pass in the championship in order to have an opportunity at it. Right now, unable to make that move. Ludovic Charette trying to make a move on Carson Miller. That's going to open the door for Sergio Alonso to make a move there for the 4th position. Here comes Rogel Dorn and the number 4 machine. I'd watch out for Rogel in this race. Had a good starting position to the inside of Ludovic Charette right there. Only 46 points behind Blaine Keys, and right now Blaine is nowhere near the top 10. Still stuck all the way back here in a 3-wide battle of San Mateo and Nichols, almost 3 wide. In 17th, he has not moved up that well at all here today. So Stuart Gratton in a position at the current moment to take 2nd in the standings and then be within 2 race wins worth of points. And of course, a race win here today means that 35 definitely has a speed to win here in the Pro Series. And I know Stuart's really going to be going for it here. Don't know if we'll see much more of Stuart in owning or driving role after this year, but he is still in contention for this title. Had a great run at Zen Schultes to get those 18 points to put him in this position. And he's still holding off Matt Tuck right now. Did the same thing Ludovic did on the first lap. And speaking of Ludovic, where did she go? In the wall. That's where she went. The caution's out here at Rockingham Motor Speedway. Somebody sent her into the wall right there. Matthew Hubert, an innocent bystander in that one. And the caution is going to fly here on lap number 5 here at the Rockingham Motor Speedway. Oh my. And just think the opportunity Ludovic Charette had last week at Zenjoltis to possibly just win that race, be 24 points behind Blaine Keys. She started on the pole, and now she's going to be out of contention to get any points with that race car. Unless things get really wild in this one. What a shame for Ludovic Charette. I'm not sure who sent her around right there. We're going to find out. You're going to find out here in just a couple of minutes, but I'm not going to find out until the end of the race, so I'm very intrigued to see how that went. I'm thinking it may either have been Alonso or Carson Miller right there. Could have possibly been Rogaldorn. I know Ludovic was slipping back right there. I think Alonso had already made the pass on Ludovic, so it may have actually been Rogaldorn. If that's the case, wow. Championship implications right there. Hey, but Stuart Gratton trying to really affect that championship and really move within on Blaine Keys, surpass Rogel and Charette the way they currently run. Stuart Gratton would move up to second in the standings. So with all that being said, let's see what happened to bring out the first caution of the day and then get back to racing with Stuart Gratton up front here in the Grand Prix of Great Britain. So we're going to replay it starting from turn 4 on the prior lap because Ludovic Charette was in a free fall. She was 3 wide on the outside of Vinnie Scholes and Matthew Hubert. Lost all the momentum there. Hubert kind of sliding up right there. They keep it together off of turn number 1. Look at Leonard Kochmer, though. A huge run off of turn number 1. And that's a bad entry in the turn 2. Hubert kind of cut down. Kochmer kind of cut up. And there's just no avoiding that one. And this is a violent hit. This is one thing about this racetrack. When they crash hard. Both Ludovic Charette and Matthew Hubert hard in the outside wall right there. And that's essentially going to mean no points for either driver in this race. So they will both be able to continue. They both will remain on the lead lap. But after that, that's pretty much it for them in terms of trying to get anything going their way in the championship. Especially for Ludovic Charette specifically. 49 points behind coming in. Huge opportunity to really gain on Blaine Keys again. And yet again, it's going to be no points for Ludovic Charette. No points for Ludovic last week at Zenjoltis. Tough break for both of those guys involved. It's the nature of this racetrack sometimes, and a bad entry for Leonard Kochmer ends in Ludovic and Hubert with heavy damage. The turn 2 wall. We'll replay this one more time, and very interesting cut back there for Leonard Kochmer, and hard in the wall for both Ludovic and Matthew Hubert. Somehow, though, they're going to both be able to continue in this race. It was just rear-end damage, so the engine should be fine, but still, I want to see a chiropractor after a hit like that. Stuart Gratton is your race leader. And number 35, a huge opportunity for him to move up in the championship standings. Let's see what he does on the restart here in the Grand Prix of Great Britain from the Rockingham Motor Speedway. We're back here at the Rockingham Motor Speedway, race 20 of the 2025 BodyArmor Pro Series. Hope you all have enjoyed this season. I know it's not been one of the more popular series of the year, but I'm telling you, this championship battle is going to get very interesting. And with the F1 points format that we've got going all the way through January to December, this is the point of the season where things really, really do get interesting, considering how long we've been racing in this series here in this 2025 season. Stuart Gratton has led the most laps so far here at the Rockingham Motor Speedway. Matt Tuck is yet to lead a lap in this race. He runs second. Here's Joe Alonso, which is, by the way, a Gratton car as well. So Gratton Autosport 1 and 3 right now. Carson Miller, Rogaldorn, Jack Haas, Vinnie Scholes, Andrew Miller, Leonard Kochmer, and Justin Zeidel currently in the points. Blaine Keys all the way back there in the 16th position. Has not received any championship points since New Hampshire back in September. So we'll see if he can get anything here today. But the way it's running right now, Stuart Gratton and Rogaldorn looking to close in even closer on the number 14 of Blaine Keys in this championship. Ludovic Charette, of course, not out of the race, but with heavy damage back in 23rd. Everyone is still on the lead lap here as we restart on lap number 9. Pretty even start for all these guys. Matt Tuck trying to get a run on the inside of Stuart Gratton for the race lead. He's been trying on Stuart pretty much this entire run. He might have it here. diving it down in the turn number 2. But Grattan's still holding on to the outside lane. We'll see if he holds that momentum through turn number 3. They remain side by side here at the Rockingham Motor Speedway, and Alonso's here, Carson Miller's here, and here comes Rogel Dorn. And they're going to go 3 wide for third as Stuart Grattan gets surpassed by both Matt Tuck and Alonso. They're 3 wide still as Rogel makes a move on Carson Miller and Stuart Grattan. Stuart's got to be careful in that position as Alonso takes the race lead, and somehow they avoided an accident. Stewart came down there on Vinnie Scholes and Andrew Miller, and Miller's going to surpass the 35, and this is disastrous for Stuart Grattan, who restarted first and has now slipped back in a battle 3 wide for the 5th position. And they're still 3 wide as it's Alonso out front in the 23. Matt Tuckling to take the spot back away, and Stewart still slipping back, and he's going to fall outside of the points right here. Both Justin Zeidel, Jack Haas, now Isaac Nichols, Nathan Stablin, and not too far behind that is Blaine Keys, but Blaine's also in a bit of his own battle, 3 wide on the outside, and what a gaggle of cars right there. Top 4 pulled away, and an issue, maybe, on Carson Miller. He might have almost got sent around right there. A little off the pace there in 4th position. Rogel Dorn to the inside of Alonso, and Matt Tuck took that lead back away. And now Matt Tuck will finally lead a lap here at the Rockingham Motor Speedway. Alonso back on the inside of Rogel Dorn. And Rogel is now in the best position to move up in the championship. Stuart Grattan has fallen outside the top 10. What a disaster there for Stuart Grattan. Still has a lot of time to work his way back up. We know that 35 is a fast car, but we know that Nathan Staplin is a fast car and a fast driver as well. And keep in mind, all the cars are equal. There is a range, of course, in how well the cars drive, but that range is equal for all these cars. The driver ratings are what's different, and that's a massive difference in how these guys attack these racetracks, and this is definitely a driver's racetrack, as you can tell. These guys have been sliding all around here today at the Rockingham Motor Speedway. And Rogel Dorn still in a battle with Alonso. This is playing out nicely for Matt Tuck, looking to get his 3rd win of the season here in the BodyArmor Pro Series. Won in Aguas Calientes back in March. Did not win again until last week at St. Joltis, but now he's looking to go 2 in a row. And he's got a very good opportunity of doing so. Carson Miller's got a good opportunity here, getting his 3rd win of the season as well. This 21 machine has been able to keep up with the stars of this series. Got Justin Zeidel making a move there on Vinnie Scholes, Andrew Miller. Alonso may make it 3 wide for 2nd. And this is music to Matt Tuck's ears. He's just hoping they don't wreck, because if they wreck, we're going to get ourselves another restart, and that is not going to play in Matt Tuck's favor. Of course, we saw what that did to Stuart Grattan. Still running in the 11th position right now for Stuart in that 35 machine, and had such a good run last week at St. Joltis to put him in this position to have a shot at the title. But if he doesn't get anything here today, he'll still remain 53 points behind, but only 5 races remain after today's event, and it's going to take a lot for him to be able to close that in. Rogel Dorn slipping back in the 4. And I'm wondering if Alonso and Dorn got into each other, because it looks like Kochmer, Zeidel, and Andrew Miller all got around them right there. So Rogel Dorn in the 4 machine, now all the way back. I think he's going to slide himself all the way back in the 7th position after that. That was a very strange occurrence right there. Great run for Kochmer, Miller, and Zeidel. Leonard Kochmer still going for his 1st win of the season. He, along with Vinnie Scholes and, well, actually of the top 7, he's the only one who has yet to go to victory lane this season. Alonso, okay, I don't know. I thought he was the only one in the top 10 who's yet to go to victory lane this season. I'm very wrong about that, because you also have Alonso up here. He's yet to go to victory lane this season. How about Andrew Miller? And, you know, do not count out Andrew Miller in this championship either. He's 76 behind. He's moving his way up very strong. Up to the 3rd position now in that 78 machine. Rogel down in 7th right there, after that little tangle that we saw a couple laps ago. Jack Haas in the points in 8th, Vinnie Scholes, Isaac Nichols, and then you got Stuart Grattan, Nicholas Samedeo. That's for the 11th position right there. But it's for no points. And Blaine Keys, by the way, all the way in the back of the field. He is continuing to struggle here in this 14 machine. Kind of limping home to the finish in this championship, and he cannot keep doing this if he's going to have any opportunity at it. In terms of the fastest lap, he's also, well, he's 12th. Oh, boy! He almost got taken out right there by Lauren Martinez, excuse me. That was very close, and frustrations mounting for Blaine Keys. That'd be a 12th place start for our next race at Atlanta, the way they currently run, in terms of that fastest lap. You got Alonso and you got Rogaldorn trying to make a move back on Leonard Kochmer right here. And Alonso going to take 5th away. Rogel's going to take 6th away. As Rogel knows he's got a huge opportunity of closing in within a race win worth of points. If he wins this race here today and Blaine does not get anything, Rogel's going to have a chance of taking the points lead away at Atlanta next week. But they're also trying to catch up to Matt Tuck in this 54. Looking to go back-to-back here in the BodyArmor Pro Series. He was 79 points behind coming in. 25 points added on to that. Or should I say subtracted from that. As you got a battle between the Millers. Andrew Miller and Carson Miller almost getting into it there in turn number 1. Andrew Miller is on a rail right now here at the Rockingham Motor Speedway. This 78 is flying. And he is 76 points behind. He's 3 points closer than Matt Tuck is in this championship right now. So that would actually be worse for Blaine Keys. It would still be 51 points, though, going into Atlanta if Andrew Miller were to win. 54 points for Matt Tuck if he were to win. So that's still over 2 race victories worth of points. But still, if Blaine Keys keeps this up and he doesn't get any more points and these guys keep on winning, they're going to be up there before you know it. Rogel's now up to 5th. He's gotten around Alonso as Kochmer now slips back in the 46 machine. These guys are just sliding around all over the place, and they get stuck in that outside lane and they just lose a ton of ground. At both of Ledovic's cars are Intersys Motor Racing, Vinny Scholes and Isaac Nichols right there. Getting around the 46 of Leonard Kochmer, that's 7th and 8th. Jack Haas still holding on to the last point, as Stuart Gratton is a little ways behind. He's a 2.5 behind for that last point right now. He led the first few laps of this race. Battles everywhere here at Rockingham Motor Speedway. Can't keep it up. Got Vinny Scholes sliding around with Alonso right there. Andrew Miller making a move there on Carson Miller. Looks like he will finally make that move, and now he has his eyes set on a race leader. Justin Zeidel up to the 3rd position. Great to see Justin have a great run here. Been a tough run for him over in the Cup Series the past few years. Actually, well, he did win back in 23 with Grattan Autosport at Road America, but outside of that, that's really the only time he had any success over there. But did get the win in Watkins Glen. He's 11th in the standings here this season. He's had a good run. And has a good run going for him here, though he is getting passed by Rogaldorn. Rogel now back up to the 3rd position. Has also gotten around Carson Miller as well. And I watch out for Rogel in the later stages of this race. He might have saved up his stuff, and we know how good of a driver he is. No one has gotten 4 wins yet this year, which is hard to believe considering that Blaine Keys literally won the first 3 races of the season, and we thought he was just going to go off this entire season. And he's yet to reach victory lane since the Daytona 125K back in February. Carson Miller, Rogaldorn can't seem to get away from each other right here. Carson Miller trying to get to the inside there in turn number 4. Almost putting the bumper to Rogaldorn. Unable to do anything with that run. This battle for 3rd is far from over, and this is playing in the Andrew Miller's favor, trying to pull away from these drivers right here. Stuart Gratton has found himself back on the points. That's 1 point that he would gain on Blaine Keys. He's gotten around Leonard Kochmer, who's fallen only back to 11th. He has closed back in on Jack Haas and Alonso, and he could get a decent amount of points here if he can get around these guys before the end of this race. And Blaine's still nowhere to be found here today at Rockingham Motor Speedway, all the way back in 19th, and still has that 12th fastest lap. Of course, Atlanta, a much different racetrack than this one, and that may play more into Blaine's favor, but to be honest, nothing's really playing in his favor as the Intersys cars get into each other, and somebody went around. Nicholas Samadillo on the 48. It looks like he got spun off right there on lap 25. No caution as it was at the back of the field. A tough break for Nicholas Samadillo. It's been a tough season for him here in the Pro Series. All the way back at 13th in the standings. Andrew Miller trying to close up. He's now within a second of Matt Tuck for this race victory. Both of these drivers right on each other in the championship standings as well. 76 points behind for Andrew Miller, 79 points behind for Matt Tuck. And it looks like it might be these two go for the win. Rogaldorn also looking to close in significantly on Blaine Keys. He would not be within a race win, though. The way they currently run, he'd get 15 points where he is at. That would be a 36-point lead for Blaine Keys going into Atlanta next week with 5 races remaining in the season. Stuart Grattan has made quick work of Jack Haas. He's now to the back bumper of Hergel Alonso. And those are the Grattan teammates almost getting into it. We had both the Millers get into each other, both the Intersys cars get into each other right there. Justin Zeidel trying to get around Rogaldorn for third. And I know Stewart would love to finish ahead of Rogel, and Stewart's going to get a spot there on Alonso for the 7th position. So this 35 is coming to life here in the later stages of this race. You got Vinnie Scholes, Isaac Nichols battling right there for 6th ahead of Stewart. If they get side by side, that's going to bring Stewart right into this battle here and try to get some more points. And Vinnie Scholes almost to the inside again on Isaac Nichols off the exit of turn number 1. And for the race lead, here he comes, Andrew Miller. Looking for his 3rd win of the season, one at Nazareth and Milwaukee. This is a bit of a flat racetrack as well, though it's much faster than those 2 racetracks. But he's looking for his 3rd win of the season, looking to close in, have a shot at this Pro Series championship, and he's going to have an opportunity at it here. Got ourselves 13 laps to go. Andrew Miller may actually be able to get around this 54 for this race victory. He's got plenty of time to do it. He's got to be careful, though, not to get into him in an attempt to make this pass. That will essentially end the championship hopes for both of these drivers if that ends up happening. Matt Tuck's still leading. He has led the most laps so far here in this Grand Prix of Great Britain. Andrew Miller trying to get his 3rd win of the season. Same with Matt Tuck. Both these drivers 2 wins on the year. Rogaldorn 3 wins on the year. He is still trying to fend off Carson Miller and Justin Zeidel. And Carson Miller has done an excellent job. This is one of the... I know he's got those 2 Super Speedway wins, but this has actually been one of his best performances all season here in this series. And you know, he's going up against some of the best drivers we have. Carson Miller has never run a full-time season in the Wall Cup Series. All these other guys he's racing with have. As for the race lead, there goes Andrew Miller. Got a huge run through turn 4. Miller's going to lead that lap. And 11 laps to go, and it's Andrew Miller out front here at Rockingham. Carson Miller got around Rogaldorn. Stuart Grattan trying to close in there on the 88. Vinnie Scholes has gotten passed by the 35, so Grattan up to 7th, trying to get as many points as he can. This race for the win is far from over as well. They keep swapping around for 3rd. Rogaldorn back to the inside of Carson Miller. He's trying to do so. He's going to get it right there. Andrew Miller still out front for the race lead as it's 10 laps to go here at the Rockingham Motor Speedway. And Rogaldorn going to be able to take it away from Carson Miller for now, at least attempt to do so. The outside lane's got a lot of momentum there for the 21. The tire wear definitely coming into effect in that regard. You get a lot more grip on that outside lane there. Don't have to angle it into the corner as hard. This is definitely going to be a huge race in terms of the championship, and watch out for these guys because they are still battling here for 3rd place. So you got Stuart Grattan and Isaac Nichols. Stuart has an opportunity at getting a podium here, and if that happens, that's going to be huge in his attempt to close up on Blaine. And Blaine, as we have very well noted, is far from actually getting any points, though he is starting to find some speed late in the going in this one. They're in the 13th position now for the number 14. Andrew Miller with a comfortable gap, all things considered at the moment, trying to pull away from Matt Tuck here at the Rockingham Motor Speedway. Carson Miller still battling there with Justin Zeidel. Stuart Grattan closing in on Isaac Nichols there. Great run for Stewart here, considering what happened to him off the restart. He looks to the inside off the exit of turn 1. No room for him to make that move. Back to the lead. Matt Tuck has not fallen off, and this race is still far from over for the race victory here in the Grand Prix of Great Britain. And both of these drivers want to get those 25 points for the championship. Have a shot at Blaine going on Christmas Eve. This race here today is going to be huge in that opportunity for either of these drivers. And to the inside once again, Matt Tuck looking to take it away from Andrew Miller. He's going to clear him off the exit of turn 1. So Miller unable to hold on to the race lead as Matt Tuck pulls away in the 54. Stuart Grattan has gotten around. Isaac Nichols for 6th. Will he be able to get around Zidell, Dorn, and Carson Miller? Miller back ahead of Rogeldorn for the 3rd position. If you're Blaine Keys, Carson Miller, Justin Zidell, they're your best friends right now in terms of that championship battle. Of course, Blaine does not want Stewart to gain much, because he's only 7 points behind. Rogeldorn coming into this race. Andrew Miller back to the inside again. And we got ourselves now 6 laps to go here at the Rockingham Motor Speedway. And once again, another pass for the race lead here in the Grand Prix of Great Britain. And Andrew Miller back out front here at the Rockingham Motor Speedway. Stuart Grattan 4.2 seconds off the race lead, and you can see he's right there on Zidell and Rogeldorn. Blaine Keys is too far behind to get any points unless some drivers ahead of him wreck out. But how about Andrew Miller? Took the lead, it got taken back away from him, and then he took it back away again from Matt Tuck. Now 5 laps to go for Andrew Miller here at the Rockingham Motor Speedway. Both drivers going for their 3rd win of the season. Rogel still trying to get this podium, closing back in on Carson Miller. And Stuart Grattan continuing to get closer and closer to the Justin Zidell. This side-by-side battle for 3rd is going to make that even harder. We should say it's actually going to make it easier for Stuart Grattan to gain some positions. Another swap right there for 3rd. Justin Zidell looking to gain some momentum on Carson Miller right here as Stuart Grattan is right there, looking to possibly steal a podium position. He may go 3 wide for it. He's going to get Justin Zidell right there through turn 2, at least attempt to do so. Had to really check up on the inside. Will he have any momentum off of turn 3 on Justin Zidell? Looks like he's going to get it through turn number 4 on the 86 machine. They're still side by side ahead of him. Oh, unable to get that momentum to go his way. 3 laps to go here at the Rockingham Motor Speedway for Andrew Miller. And look at this gaggle of cars. 5 cars under a blanket for the 3rd position here with 2.5 laps to go. Stewart's going to take 4th away from Carson Miller. Got around Zidell, got around Miller. 1 more to go for that podium position. And hey, we may see Matt Tuck take out Andrew Miller for this race win here with 2 laps to go this time around. So this could still be for the race win. Who's ever in 3rd is going to be in the catbird seat if something like that happens. Stuart Grattan doing all he can to close up the Rogel here for the 3rd position. And he's got a much faster car than this Ford machine does. Trying to get ahead of Rogeldorn, trying to move up on Blaine Keys in this championship. Have a shot at it going in to Homestead in a little over a month's time. All these guys in the top 4 looking to be in championship contention at that point. And today's race is huge in that momentum. White flag is in the air for Andrew Miller. He's got a considerable gap right now on Matt Tuck. What a run for this 78 machine. And Andrew Miller came out to play as the battle's on for 3rd. Stuart Grattan looking to clear Rogeldorn for the podium position. He would gain 3 points on Rogel. Rogel would still be ahead of Stewart in the championship. Looks like we're going to get a crossover. Rogel back to the inside for 3rd. Matt Tuck closed in. Will he have enough momentum to get to Andrew Miller on this final corner? He will not. Rogel is going to take 3rd away from Stuart Grattan. It's Andrew Miller winning at Rockingham Motor Speedway. Rogel's going to get 3rd, and Stewart's going to fall to 5th on that final lap. So 10 points for Stuart Grattan. Could have been 15. He's going to be 43 points behind Blaine Keys going into Atlanta. Rogel got the 15. So he is going to be 31 points behind Blaine Keys going into Atlanta. Andrew Miller got the 25. He'll be 51 points behind. Matt Tuck got 18. And he will be 61 points behind going into the Atlanta Motor Speedway. Ladovic Schratt will still be 49 behind Blaine, as she did not receive any championship points here today. Can I say, absolute cinema. That was one heck of a race here from the Rockingham Motor Speedway. And maybe I should be regretting not returning this track next year, because my goodness, was that a lot of fun. Leonard Kochmer will start on the pole next week at Atlanta. Stuart Grattan is going to start third, with Nicholas Samadillo on the outside pole. Matt Tuck will start fourth. Andrew Miller will start fifth. Rogal Dorn's going to be all the way back in 14th. And Blaine Keys is going to be 13th right there. So Blaine's going to be on that inside lane. Rogal's going to be on the outside lane to start that one from Atlanta. That could get very interesting. And Ludovic Charette going to be all the way back in 22nd to start the Georgia 100K. That's going to be a fast one there from the Atlanta Motor Speedway. Could get very interesting there in the championship. And this championship battle just got a lot closer after this one. Blaine with nothing going for him here today, though he got close. He was up to 12th. If this race was longer, he may have had a shot at it, but still, another race with no points for Blaine Keys. So it's getting a little bit better for Rogal Dorn. He got that third position. That could be huge once we get to Homestead. Stuart Grattan had third, then lost it, but Stewart is still going to gain a pretty good chunk there. He's now within 2 race wins on Blaine Keys. Matt Tuck is not. Neither is Andrew Miller, but Andrew Miller 51 points behind. Only going to be 2 points off of Ludovic Charette now. Matt Tuck going to be 61 points behind. And Leonard Koshmer not really going to gain much from that one. He's only going to get 2 points here today. Alonso with the last point here, as it's Andrew Miller, Matt Tuck, Rogal Dorn, Isaac Nichols, Stuart Grattan, Carson Miller, Justin Zeidel, Vinny Scholes, Leonard Kochmer, Sergio Alonso receiving championship points here today from the Rockingham Motor Speedway. Everybody did finish on the lead lap. We had some moments there. Nicholas Samadillo got spun around, and then we also had the wreck at the beginning of the race around lap 5 with Ludovic Charette. But all in all, one heck of a race. That was wildly entertaining. Not mildly entertaining. That was wildly entertaining here from the Rockingham Motor Speedway here on this Saturday afternoon in November. And we may have to call an audible on this schedule next year, because I tell you what, this is one of the best races we've had all season in the BodyArmor Pro Series, and it's Andrew Miller going back to victory lane with his 3rd win of the season, and still no drivers won more than 4 races yet this season. Blaine Keys, Rogal Dorn, Andrew Miller all have 3 race victories at this point. We're just going to have to see if they can hold on to it and have a shot at this championship, or will Blaine Keys be able to just hold on to what he started with and get this title in just about 6 weeks' time. We get to Christmas Eve at the Homestead Miami Speedway. That's going to be a lot of fun when we get to that race. And that's going to be a longer race, too. About a 60-lap race there at Homestead to crown a champion. Should be a lot of fun once we get to that one. But we got Atlanta Motor Speedway next week. The Coca-Cola Super Speedway just a few days after that, the eve before the Thanksgiving 500, which is in less than 2 weeks, by the way. And some of y'all signed up for that one. Some of y'all missed it, unfortunately. I'm sorry. Just the way it goes. There'll be the Christmas Eve showdown. Don't worry. I know Jack Haas doesn't have to worry about that one, though. We still don't know who won it last year, apparently. That'll be fun. That'll be fun to see how that goes. Coca-Cola Martinsville is going to be a very fascinating race. That was a track that was added on after the schedule, and we moved some things around. So that's going to be very interesting. That was essentially the replacement there for Colorado, which, you know, Colorado was a good race in the West Series. But I think we're going to have a great race in Martinsville in early December. And then we go to the Bend for the penultimate race of the season. So wild road course to lead us into Homestead for that finale race. I'm excited. You should be too. It's going to be a lot of fun here in the BodyArmor Pro Series for 2025. And then 3 weeks after the finale, we start the 2026 season in South Boston all over again. We just keep on going with this stuff. It's going to be a lot of fun. Thank you guys so much for watching here from the Rockingham Motor Speedway. Congratulations to Andrew Miller on his race victory here in the 20th race of the season. 5 races left to go in the BodyArmor Pro Series. Here are the point standings after 20 races. I will see you guys later.